Arizona Cardinals play tonight, NFL tonight. And here it is. Here it is. Sean Payton, a member of Fox, tops Arizona's list as the replacement candidate if Arizona fires their head coach, Kliff Kingsbury. Now, Kingsbury makes $8 million a year. It's a rounding error for billionaires. 4 years, $22 million. The Kyler Murray contract you're not getting out of. It is much easier, as you know, to get rid of a coach and find another good coach than it is to get rid of a quarterback and find another good quarterback. I mean, is Bailey Zappi the answer in New England? He may be. They tried Cam. They tried Mac Jones. Maybe it's this lower drafted kid, Bailey Zappi from Western Kentucky, who transferred all through college. It's hard. It's really hard. Think about this. We already have, because college football only gives the pros one great quarterback a year. We already have 3 first-year coaches in the NFL crushing it. Brian Daboll's 5-1, took over a mess, 5-1. Kevin O'Connell took over the Vikings, 5-1. Mike McDaniel, by the way, before Tua was hurt, was 3-0. 2 coaches, Nick Sirianni in Philly and Robert Saleh of the Jets in year 2 are 10-2 this morning. By the way, even young coaches who were fired, Brian Flores, we liked. Zach Taylor, 3rd year, got the Bengals to a Super Bowl. So Kliff Kingsbury did not win in college in an average conference with Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback. He has never had Arizona with Kyler Murray and good weapons and a decent O-line in the top 10 in scoring. His teams have faded at the end of his first 3 seasons, and now he doesn't get along greatly with his quarterback. It's time. We've seen enough of it. It's time. I mean, I don't like calling for jobs. If he goes through the season, fine. It's not the end of the world, but, you know, we know what we got here, right? And you could say, well, it's not his fault. It's Kyler's fault. Okay, listen. When Aaron Rodgers wanted Mike McCarthy out, he's out. Okay, if Kyler wants Kliff Kingsbury out, he's out. Kliff was 35-40 in college with Patrick Mahomes. There are no signs right now that he's a great coach. I could argue there are no signs he's a really good coach. So you move on. You know, I said this a couple days ago, and everybody laughed at it. But, you know, the league is pivoting to offense. It's very reasonable this morning to say that Kliff Kingsbury and Nathaniel Hackett aren't the guy. And you're always better in any business to move off stuff fast and not double down on it. Don't be rigid. Don't be stubborn. Sometimes you make mistakes. Kingsbury's had 3 years. There's nothing to prove that he's like an elite coach, right? But and there's a lot of good candidates out there. The kid at Seattle, Colin plays. Byron Leftwich, Colin plays. Philadelphia's got Shane Steichen's, Colin plays. You got Kafka. Where's he at? Kafka's at New York Giants. There's like 4 or 5 guys out there, offensive guys. You know, Lincoln Riley's not leaving now, but in 4 or 5 years, his name will be out there. There's plenty of offensive coaches. The league's pivoting to offense. Kingsbury appears to be. Listen, he's not a whiff. He's not a total miss. There's something there. Maybe he's just a great coordinator. Maybe he's a college coach and needs a legitimate job, not his alma mater. But people laugh when I said this the other day. You have 2 messes in the NFL with very similar quarterbacks. Both just signed huge contracts. Russell in Denver and Kyler Murray, his comp in Arizona. I said it the other day. I don't think it's crazy. You could make an argument. Kyler's better in Denver with that bad O-line, and Russell's better in Arizona with their chaos. You don't get chaos with Russell Wilson. He's not the same quarterback he was, but let's be honest. Right now in Arizona, the only way to solve this thing, because you can't get rid of a quarterback, right, unless you trade him to Denver, is fire the coach. And I think at this point, totally reasonable. We'll see tonight. Russell Wilson is doing something, and I think it drives people crazy. So everybody now is banging on Russell Wilson because he's too optimistic. So was Tim Tebow, and everybody loved him for a while. So was Kirk Cousins, and most people think he's pretty good. But Russell Wilson ended that interview and has ended several interviews with "Let's ride, Bronco Country." And people don't like it. It feels collegiate. It feels inauthentic. And in the NFL, it is interesting because you don't have to sell anybody in the NFL. It's a business. Remember, teams pick the players. In college, players pick the school. So you're constantly selling yourself. Michael Robinson on the NFL Network, on our show later, he wants Russell to stop being so collegey, nicey, optimistic. By the way, I don't think that's who Russell Wilson is. I don't think it's who Tim Tebow is. I don't think it's who Kirk Cousins is. All have religious convictions. They don't swear. They're very eternally optimistic. I think it's who they are, and I think you have to be who you are. Aaron Rodgers sometimes is so authentic. He rips vaccines. He's talking psychedelics. He's ripping coaches. I want to manifest my destiny. And I'm like, ugh. But in truth, that's who Aaron Rodgers is. Kyler Murray can pout. Kyler Murray can ghost people. Kyler Murray can... That's who Kyler Murray is. So, you know, I've talked about this over the last couple of years. I used to be very kind of rigid on, I want my quarterbacks to be this. But I don't know if asking Russell Wilson to be inauthentic and not what he is, and snarky and cynical and loud and volume. He used to say, go Hawks, and nobody cared because they won. If right now Denver was 6-0, we would be like, man, let's ride. It'd probably get a national commercial. But it shows in the NFL. It's all winning. In college, nobody would care about that. And in Seattle, nobody cared about it. Nobody cared about Go Hawks. Nobody cares about all the college guys doing it. But you lose in the NFL, and that like optimism. I mean, Tebow, a lot of you folks bought into him. I didn't. I thought it was cheeseball. I didn't think he could play. Everybody bought in to Tebow when he was winning. Like smart NFL people bought into that eternal hope and optimism. Guy couldn't throw an out. He couldn't throw an out pattern. But you bought into it. The minute it turned for Tebow, he was corny. So that's why in this league, it's all winning. That's all it is. Everybody is viewed differently when they win. Nobody cared about Go Hawks forever. Let it ride. He said it twice publicly. Everybody is out on it. I think you have to be who you are, even if it's Aaron Rodgers and snarky. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.